Communication matters. Communication is vital for healthy relationships. Being able to talk openly and honestly with the people in your life allows you to share, learn, respond, and forge lasting bonds. This is a vital part of any relationship, including those with friends and family, but it can be particularly important in romantic relationships. So, with regards to the theme, how can we improve our communication? If you think that poor communication is having a negative impact in your relationship, there are strategies that can help you improve your connection. So, in order to improve communication, we can consider your attachment style. Think about how your attachment style might affect your communication patterns. Attachment styles are your characteristic patterns of behavior in relationships. Your early attachment style, which emerges in childhood based on relationships with which emerges in childhood based with caregivers, can continue to affect how you behave and respond in adult romantic relationships. If you have an insecure attachment style, you may be more likely to engage in communication patterns that can be seen in anxious or avoidant, meaning recognizing how your attachment style affects how you interact with your partner and how your partner's style affects how they interact with you can give you clues into what you might need to work on. If you or your partner have an insecure attachment style, it can have an impact on how you communicate and interact with your partner. Knowing your style and being aware of how it may manifest in anxious or avoidant behavior can help you find ways to overcome less effective communication patterns. So, this might involve setting aside time each day to really focus on one another and talk about the events of the day and any concerns you might have. Limiting your device use at certain times of day, such as during meals or at bedtime, can be a great way to focus on your partner without having your attention pulled in different directions. The use I statement sometimes, the way that you talk to each other, can play a major role in communication problems. If you are both focusing and arguing facts without talking about quickly turn into debates over who is right or who gets the last word. The I statements are focused on what you are feeling instead of your partner's behaviors. For example, instead of saying you are never on time, you might say, I get worried when you don't arrive on time. Using this type of statement can help conversations seem less accusatory or blaming and instead help you and your partner focus on the concerned about avoid negative communication patterns when you are tempted to engage in behavior like ignoring your partner. So this focus on your relationships. While good communication is important, research suggests that it is just one many factors that impact the success, duration, and satisfaction in relationships. In fact, research seems to suggest that your satisfaction with your relationship might predict how well you and your partner communicate. The more satisfied people are in their relationships, the more likely they are to openly talk about their thoughts, feelings, concerns, and problems with one another. When to get help? There are many steps you can take to improve the communication in your relationship on your own. But there may be times that you feel like professional help might be needed. Couples therapy can be a great way to address communication problems that might be holding your relationship back. A therapist can help identify unhelpful communication patterns, develop new coping techniques, and practice talking to one another in more effective ways. They can also address any underlying resentments or other mental health issues that might be having a detrimental impact on your relationship. Effective communication in a relationship allows people to tell other people what they need and to respond to what their partner needs. It allows people to feel understood, validated, and connected to another person. Always remember that the goal of communication is to understand one another. It isn't about sweeping problems under the rug in order to prevent all conflict. Instead, focus on listening to understand and responding with empathy and care. If you and your partner are struggling with communication issues, consider talking to a therapist for advice and tips on how to cope. I hope that what I have shared with you will be of great help in improving effective communication. Thank you so much. And I am Ambassador Dr. Jovelyn Espalabra from the Philippines, founder and chairman of Global Academy for Human Excellence and Council of Empowered Ladies International. And Merry Christmas to all.
Wow,
Thank you.
wow, wow. Thank you so much. And thank you as well for introducing yourself. And I believe others as well can do that just immediately they deliver their speech so that we can really move on. I really appreciate you, ma'am. Thank you. Oh, I really, really appreciate you because I know
Thank you
you
for
are very,
inviting me
very
here.
busy. And you are also our advisory board member. And on this occasion, you're going to be one of our matron as well. So thank you so much. We appreciate
Yes,
you,
you're welcome.
Jelly. We appreciate your time. So
Yes.
at this moment, I would like to, first of all, appreciate all our leaders for joining us today. This conference will be the last conference of the year 2022. And we are moving into 2023. And we will continue as well every month with our Transformational Leadership Conference. But I have a great news for you. For those who likes to travel, we will be hosting a live, actual Transformational Leadership Conference in September for our 3rd year anniversary, live in UK. So get ready to travel to come and join me here live as we do the Transformational Leadership Conference, an award evening for that period. So I just want to prepare your mind for that. But then we will still continue with our Transformational Leadership Conference every month. So you are all welcome. I also want to seize this occasion, as our ambassador professor is still around, to appreciate all our leaders, my mentors, my pastors, my ambassadors, the directors, the coordinators, and all members. I want to appreciate you because we've come far. We've been in this journey for 2 years and we are still pressing on. Thank you for your love for us all. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your experience that you are sharing on this platform. Believe it or not, I have received a lot of feedbacks and also testimonies and also experience of people during the conferences. Some people have told me that they've really been transformed in their family, in their relationship, in their leadership, and even in their situations. Some of their situations have turned around for good. So I want to say we give God all the glory. So I cannot do it myself. We are all doing it together. And all the words that you have shared on this platform has really, really transformed so many lives. So once again, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. I will use this time to hand over to Dr. Her Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Amy Allen, our moderator for today, to continue celebrating and preparing us, guiding us through to the meeting we have today. You're welcome. Thank you.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
I hand over to you to continue.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Much gratitude to YYCI International, our Her Excellency, Queen Elizabeth. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to moderate our event and also this conference, which is our last conference for the year 2022, Transformational Leadership Conference. And also, this will be the last for the year, and I would take this as a stepstone for us to actually step into 2023, which is going to be a magical year for every one of us. So thank you so much to our pastor who actually prayed for us in the beginning, for giving us so much of prayers and so giving us for so much of love for us to welcome the year 2023 and also to end the year 2022 in a beautiful way. And let's all of us pray for a more peaceful, happiness, and full of abundance of the year coming 2023. Thank you so much for all of you who are present here, welcoming all our queen, king, pastors, ambassadors, leaders, and all our family members of Yes You Can. Welcome, welcome, welcome you. Give a round of applause to your own self for being here. Thank you so much for all of you who are present. And thank you for all the viewers who are going to view all these events that we had in the whole entire year of 2022, and also be present here for the upcoming events that we're going to have in 2023 as well. So welcoming every one of you. Thank you so much for being present here as we're going to start our event for today. So I'm going to welcome our first panel speaker on the list. Just be minded that we are having the best speakers that has been selected, just like among the pearls in the oceans. We pick each and every one of our speakers, especially our Her Excellency Queen Elizabeth has actually been so passionate and been so dedicated in what she has been involved herself in Yes You Can International, in making this world a beautiful place for each and every one of us. And here we come with our first panel speaker. You may call upon our first panel speaker who's on the list. Let's have a look. Okay, here we call upon Professor Patrick Mugamba. His Excellency Professor Patrick Mugamba, the stage is yours, sir.
Hello, Dr. Pratik Mungekar.
Is everything okay?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. The stage is yours.
Okay, okay. So, okay. So once again, I would like to congratulate my dear Queen for inviting me here again. And so today's topic is communication. So communication to a relationship is like oxygen to life. Without it, scared, lonely, or insecure in a relationship. Are you able to share this with the other person in an authentic and non-blaming way? Most of us would like to think we already do this, but the other person in the relationship may feel otherwise. So, authentically sharing these vulnerable emotions is one of the most difficult things to do for all of us. But it is also one of the most important components to a satisfying, emotionally connected relationship. So, learning how to breathe oxygen into a relationship via meaningful communication is a skill that is acquired, much like learning a foreign language. So, to acquire this skill, seek out a person, people who can guide you through this process, a therapist, a friend, parent, mentor, and be patient with yourself as you learn. So, communication. We tend to not realize on a daily basis how important it is. It could be saying goodbye to your parents in the morning, to talking to your boyfriend or girlfriend all day. But the crazy and funny part is that how do relationships communicate now? How do the younger generations talk? Do they even have one-on-one communication with each other? Is it still alive? At the grocery store, people are talking, texting, and email phones throughout throughout dinner. So can friends even go out without texting or being on social media and communicating through there? So the younger generation now tend to be shy and not sociable. They tend to hold fewer word conversations. So is communication dying? We need oxygen to live. We need communication to continue, and it helps us grow and learn. It has been proven that we need to hold conversation with each other. So communication without realizing it or not is one of the most important things in life. So one example is married couples. So married couples should have plenty to say to each other, but research says communication is one of the issues they struggle with most. So part of the problem may be that communication is a two-way street requiring both partners to do it well, others to bring up. So healthy couple communication is not just about expressing your needs, but also about being an active listener and desiring to understand your partner's perspective. So there are 4 points. One is getting passive aggressive. So some people act out their feelings instead of talking about them. So that's called being passive aggressive. And as a relationship strategy, it ranks near the bottom. So you say one thing and do another, or worse, or you say nothing but roll your eyes or sigh dramatically. So this communicates judgment and contempt, which is disrespectful to your partner. Discussing their thoughts, feelings, and opinions make them uncomfortable or seems to risky. So I see it all the time. A partner agrees to do something and they have no intention of doing, just to get the spouse to stop nagging. Passive aggressive habits foster distance between partners, replace them with healthier communication strategies to restore the connection. And assuming your partner is psychic. So sometimes spouses don't communicate their needs to desire because they're expecting your partner to know intuitively what you want without saying it. It sets your partner up to fail. So it is more effective, and people stand a much greater chance of getting their needs met. So when they learn to share their thoughts directly. There are so many things like checking in, addressing the bigger picture. For example, I would like to conclude with what this example. In addition to short daily check-ins, couples should schedule weekly sessions. To discuss bigger picture items. So that might include financial goals, work issues, or parenting curses. So some couple do better if the agenda is set ahead of time. A spoken agenda works fine for a lot of people. So but conflict written couples may need a written agenda to stay focused and keep the conversation running smoothly. So if necessary, use a clock to ensure equal talking time. So partner also can use an object such as a spoon or a book that is passed back and forth to indicate whose turn is to speak. So, that will help, and partners are more willing to engage in a conversation if they know they will have a chance to be heard. So lastly, for many of us, our natural instinct is to avoid situations that feel complicated and confrontational. But keeping and maintaining a successful marriage depends on learning how to fight the avoidance instinct and discuss difficult issues. So this was my thoughts on communication in relationships, and in best to express my thoughts on this very different but important topic.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Pratit. Thank you so much. I know we have challenges with your connection, but we can still hear you clearly, and all your words are understood by me, and I believe by a few of us as well. So thank you so much for sharing with us about the communication in relationship. And we also thank you for your time, because I know you are very, very busy. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we hand over to Dr. Amy.
Thank you, Her Excellency Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas. Thank you so much for addressing every one of our speakers. Thank you so much to Professor Dr. Pratik Manenker. That was a beautiful explanation of communication, and the 4 points has been pointed out beautifully. Thank you so much for all your efforts and explanations, Dr. Pratik Manenker. Please give a round of applause once again to our first speaker for this conference. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. So never underestimate the power of dreams and the influences of our human spirit. We are all the same. The potential for greatness lies within each of us. And with that, we're going to call upon our next eminent speaker, which is on our list, who is another excellent speaker, Rev. Professor Anifok Akpalaboy. I hope pronounce your name right. Sorry if I missed it.
Let me help you.
Thank
Reverend
you.
Professor Anefo Apabio
Thank you,
from
Queen.
Nigeria. You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
sir.
Welcome, sir. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. I am grateful that I'm here today. I salute and congratulate our visionary, our Queen of Africa, and each and every one of us that is here. Thank you also for choosing me to be one of those who are saying something here. Since this program and this conference is a transformational conference, I look at it that the emphasis or the focus of what we have today is on relationship, communication in relationship, and how important or how we can improve it. I look at it that when we understand the true meaning of relationship, then we'll know the importance of communication, and then we'll see the need of explaining. We've been made to know and we understand that we can, even our coming to this program, our being in this Zoom program is because of relationship, which we can see that relationship is the key factor that can bind people together, that can encourage people to continue and could be what they should be. So we can now give some small definition of this word or emphasis on the word relationship. And that will help us to know how to communicate. We've seen that relationship is an established link between two persons with the mind of motivating one another, improving their stand, and also understanding themselves, an established link. We are now talking together because we are relationship. We establish the link, and then we go on. And if we are really to enjoy and know how we can improve or communicate, then we'll be sure that that link is maintained the way it should be. We say also that relationship is a passionate attachment. We know relationship can be marital relationship, professional relationship, colleague relationship, whatever. Relationship has so many and many aspects. If it is marriage, if it is professional or whatever, it is a passionate attachment to one another with the aim of sharing interests, sharing concern, and sharing issues that is important to their coexistence. So if we look at that as a definition of relationship, then we see that communication is important. And someone also said that relationship is a state where two people come together, identify one another, and help one another to survive. I am thinking that that is the major aspect that we gather in Y.Y.C.I International, to identify with one another and then to share ideas so that we can make things go. I look at this relationship, that relationship is aimed at oneness and common goal. Even in marriage, even in academics, even in what we are doing now, it is a situation that will bring unity and oneness so we can do. So then, which means that the key to maintain this relationship has to do with communication. We know that communication also, relationship also brings together the commitment and the consent. So if it is so, we now come to see that when we talk about communication, communication is transferring or sharing one's idea so that we can help one another to be understood very well. Now, after looking at that, we now look at how do we improve communication. I feel the first step to improve communication is our vertical relationship, which is God. When we maintain a clear relationship with God, then we will now be able to relate with one another and be able to communicate. Remember, in human relations, we have been saying that your behavior can affect my feelings, and my feelings can affect your behavior. If I don't have a better relationship, and then there is no transformational attitude in me, I will not be able to relate. And what I will be communicating will be anything that goes. So when we come to that direction, we must come to see how do we make it fine. We allow God to take over the stage because it's only God who can help us to do what we should do and be what we should be. So to improve this relationship, even as we are here, to improve the communication and make our program in this Y.Y.C.I International to work. Number one, we must think clearly. Let's think clearly because we want to relate, because we want to communicate. There are certain times we communicate, the other person don't know, and we don't share better ideas. So we think clearly. By thinking clearly and presenting, communicating clear words to one another, we will see that it will really help. Number two, we must look at the aspect of arranging our thoughts logically because we want to communicate. We must look at the logical perspective of communication. How do I talk? What do I talk? What do I have in mind? How do I share with the other person? What am I going to really tell this person to be? How do they understand me? In communication, we must know you can have a better idea, but the other person may not understand you well. Therefore, to improve it, we must look at the issue of actually arranging it logically. When we do the arranging, then we now express clearly and expressly, because we are now coming to tell people we express our thought clearly as we relate here in Y.Y.C.I International, as we relate as ministers, as leaders, as ambassadors. Let it be clear so that people will know People understand our mind and know what we are doing. Another word is to use appropriate words and appropriate ways. How do I communicate? People can communicate through verbal, some can communicate through writing. Even our clothing and our design can be a clothing. So we know how we now relate an appropriate way of communicating. Let's use a way like our visionary said, that we don't want to hurt anybody. We respect each other's integrity and who they are. But we must know that to do that, we must choose the appropriate way. We look at also that if we want to do that, we express concisely. We will improve, even if it is in marriage, even as we are going as colleagues, that sometimes misunderstanding may come. Jesus even said misunderstanding can come at any time. So when that is done, we must be wise and concise to handle what we should handle, having known that it is God who helps us to be what we should be. And finally, we have to look at the sense of resolution. How do we resolve? Communicate. Are we communicating? Because I feel communication in relationship should center on love, should focus on unity, and should transform. They can communicate the life of God to others. The Bible said the love of Christ constrains us. It becomes a part of our life that makes us go. I believe as we come here and as we are sharing, as we communicate, as we are talking now, we are relating, choosing the right word, the right time. Sometimes I look at what Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8 said. When Nehemiah was reading, Israel was reading, the Bible said they read in the word of the Lord distinctly and gave the sense and caused the people to understand. Let's get into this and we'll see that God will help us to make our relationship well. Thank you very much. I'm Reverend Professor Nephew Akpabio, a provost of World Harvest Bible College and Seminary, a preacher of the gospel. I have many aspects of the faces, but as we continue, we shall know each other again. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate your powerful words of advice. And I've written some things down since morning. I mean, from when our Professor Jovi has shared with us, and also Dr. Patrick, and now is Professor Akpabio. Thank you so much for sharing, because I believe that we don't know it all. When we come together, we learn from one another. Like I just told some of my mentees recently, don't go to a conference aiming to just speak and move on. Go to the conference to share what you have and take back what you've learned. It's about give and take. They are there listening to you. You also need to listen to them. And I think that is also part of communication. So, and that is the way we can get better and we can move forward in our lives. So once again, thank you, sir, Reverend Professor Akpabio, for your thoughts that you have shared with us today. I have held on to some of it, and I want to believe that every of our leaders as well, they've picked up one or two or even more from your words today. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Amy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Queen Elizabeth. Because thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause to our Professor Anefik Akapola once again. Thank you so much. That was just such a powerful explanation. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving us the explanation of our vertical relationship to the God. And thank you so much to God for giving us this opportunity for this beautiful day to have our Yes You Can conference today for the Transformational Leadership Conference with the theme Communication is Our Relationship. And with that, life, like all the other things in the universe, we are destined from the birth. There is no limit in the universe of our imagination. You can become what you want to become. Thank you so much to all our eminent speakers who have actually spoken all this far. And then the next eminent speaker that we're going to call upon is another energetic, another vibrant Professor Edward Prabir Mondal.
I
The stage
think
is yours.
he's still on his way coming.
Okay.
Probably
No worries, no
traffic.
worries.
It could be traffic, it could be connection, it could be anything, but he's still on his way. Can
All
we
right.
move on to the next one, please?
Sure, definitely. Next, we call upon Professor T.P. Sashikumar. Stage is yours, sir. We are ready to listen to you.
My own very, very mentor. We want to listen to you, sir. Professor Dr. TPS. He's here. Professor TPS Sasikumar.
I'm here.
Yes, I know you are here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
But
you, sir.
Did you schedule me on 1st December? I was not.
I think you said today. I think let me check.
No issue.
Yes, it's on the list. Sorry.
I am with you.
Okay, sir. So we want to hear from you, sir.
I am with you. So, Namaskaram. I am Dr. TPS from Hyderabad, India. Sometimes, if you don't communicate, it conveys maximum. If you communicate, you need words. Probably, if you have good relationship with people, if you don't communicate also, you can create relationship. I think the structured relationship building by specific communication with a time scale and all that is actually foolish and too much of artificial. It doesn't happen. Theoretically, probably yes. But I believe communication within each one of us is maximum. If you ask a question, who communicates to you maximum? It's your own brain, buddhi, which communicates to your manas, which is the feeling. Oh, I must do this. Immediately your brain will say, no, don't do it. It's not the right time to do it. There is a logical brain. In the Western science, it is called logical brain and feeling brain, where a thinking brain and a feeling brain. So they communicate to each other and you decide this is what is to be done. If that communication is perfect, as long as your internal communication is perfect, I'm sure your dealing with the world becomes much better. The biggest conflict in this world, there is a word called conflictology. The conflictology is how do you conflict internally so that you are upset with everything happens around you. So it's essential to have a clean, pure internal communication so that the way you think is like a dhyanam, meditation. It's like a prayer. And therefore, you can reflect on somebody's communication. There are a lot of ways we respond. Sometimes we respond not the way the other person is expecting you to respond, because there is a lot of thoughts inside you which goes negative. So if I am a person who can reflect, that means it's like a mirror. I am only reflecting what comes to me. That relationship becomes much better because I am not prejudiced. I don't have old perceived memories of somebody, and then I don't create that memory to reflect on somebody else. So it has to be a plain, clean mirror. So every individual is a plain, clean mirror. We accept people as they are. Why we have relationship problems? Because I want somebody to be in my frame of reference and say, if you are like this, I love you. I expect you to be like this. I expect you to see that you are like this. This is what is creating problem. So I think expectations depends on what experience I had. The other day I was mentioning the life is a triple E. Life is a triple E. The experience of yesterday creates an experiment of today with an expectation of tomorrow. So when we communicate, I have an expectation. Oh, this is what my expectation after this discussion on this Yes, You Can International with my sister Queen Elizabeth. Oh, this is what I expect. But with that expectation, I am presenting something. There is an experience from Dr. TPS already had with my sister Elizabeth. So she created an expectation. So what happens? The expectations be getting compared. Always comparison is an experiment. Judging is an experiment. Interpretation is an experiment. Analysis is an experiment. So we analyze things. Oh, this analysis says it is not the way he has to. This is not the way I expected him to be. So what are we doing? Every communication is an experiment. We are not the perfect. We are improving every moment. So it's a transformation. So communication is the core for transformations that need not be verbal, that can be holding somebody's hands for some time, that can be sitting across, listening to somebody. Actually, in communication, if somebody believes talking is communication, God has given only one tongue, but 2 years. So to listen more and speak less. So I think I should not speak more unless I listen to somebody. So if I have more time, I'll be glad to get some questions.
Yes. On this occasion, do we have any questions for our Dr. TPS? Any questions as we move on? Do we have any questions, or you are still reserving your questions? Anyway, feel free to text it on the chat or also send it to me if it's possible, and I will pass that message on to Dr. TPS. Dr. TPS, can you tell us a little bit about yourself quickly, please?
Yeah, I'm Dr. TPS. I'm from India. I was with the government of India as a space scientist for 20 years, basically a mathematician, and left my job from Prime Minister's office for teaching. So I am into full-time teaching and learning. That's what I do. I travel across the globe. Until COVID, I was traveling 360 days and probably 5 days at home. So during COVID for last 2 years, I was almost in Hyderabad without a travel. Now from last 2 months, I started traveling. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. You are welcome. We really appreciate you. At the moment, Dr. Amy, I would like you to call on Pastor Ennis Solomon Nossa. He is one of our very, very guests of honor. His first time of joining us. So I know he's not on that list, but please let's call him in, because the person that's supposed to be the next is still on the way. As I won't say they are not coming, but they are on their way coming. Okay. So let's just say welcome, because this is also one of our new guests of honor. Thank you, Dr. Amy.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much, Queen Elizabeth. Lucas, for giving me this opportunity to call upon our next eminent guest speaker. And also, we would like to thank Professor Dr. T.P. Sasikumar for your beautiful explanation. Thank you so much, sir. You have actually given so much of explanation and understanding about the communication with ourselves, the buddhi. Yes, it is true, very true. And also the thinking, like thinking mind, which is more important than the speaking. The listening is more important than the speaking. Thank you so much for giving us that explanation. We appreciate you. Let's give a round of applause to Dr. T.P. Sasikumar. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, sir. And today is the 1st of December. Yes, we are in the beginning of the month, December. Yes, you have been called upon on the 1st of December. And yes, has been given the opportunity for me to actually introduce our next beautiful, eminent, also blessed next speaker on the stage is Pastor Annie Solomon Nosa. The stage is yours, sir. Thank you so much. We welcome you with so much of blessings and so much of love for you to speak on behalf of the Yes You Can International Conference today. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, you can hear me now? Yeah, thank you. It's my privilege to be here today. And I sincerely want to appreciate Dr. Lucas for the privilege to be here and the advisory body of Yes You Can International. And then the subject of discussion has been on communication, how it affects relationship and the rest of them. But I believe that before you can actually talk about communication, you must first of all understand what it is, because communication is connected to relationship. And then when you understand what is communication, and then you connect it to relationship, and then that's where you can be able to improve on what it is all about. I have some few definitions on what is communication. Number one, I said communication is an act of passing an information. Communication is an act of passing an information with a mindset of understanding. Communication is an act of passing an information, the mindset of understanding. Understanding. You pass out of there should be an understanding of communication. And then number two, I said communication is an act of expressing your opinion over an issue to make others to be in the same page with you. Communication is an act of expressing your opinion over an issue to make others to be on the same page with you. So when you are communicating, you are trying to pass an opinion, you are trying to bring others to your page, to your level, to understand. And then number three, I said communication is an act of expecting feedback from the other side or receiving end. Communication is an act of expecting feedback from the other side or from the receiving end. And also say that communication is an act of transferring your thoughts and emotions to others. It's an act of transferring your thoughts and your emotions to others. And also come up with this, that communication is an act of passing words or information to someone or group of people. So when we understand that communication is all about passing words, communication is all about transferring thoughts, it's all about transferring emotions, it's all about making others to come at the same page with you. It's being able to get feedback from somebody, because you can't communicate until you understand what it means to communicate. So that's why it's important for us to understand that these are some of the few definitions of communication. And then let's look at the importance of communication in relationship. Why is it so important to communicate in a relationship? Number one, it is the mortar that cements relationship. Communication is actually the mortar that cements a relationship. It is the mortar that cements a relationship. So if you want to have a perfect relationship, you must understand the act of communication. Communication can either make a relationship or destroys a relationship. So when you're talking about relationship and communication, you should understand that if you want to have a proper relationship, you must understand the act of communication. Then number two, it is the bond or the strength of relationship. Communication is the bond or the strength of relationship. And then number three, it is the dissolver of problems in relationship. Communication is the dissolver of problems. When you understand that communication can put an end to issues, communication can dissolve problems. It can put an end to issues in relationships. So that's why, I tell them anywhere I appear on television that when it comes to marital relationship or any kind of relationship, communication is a major, not a minor. And then number four, communication, for you to, they understand the importance, is the power of connection that brings people together. Communication is the power of connection that brings people together. It is a power of connection that brings people together. And then number five, it is the language of human and nation development. Communication is a language of human and nation development. Now let me round up with this. How do I improve on my communication? Number one, develop the skill of effective transmission of words. Develop the skill of effective transmission of words. There are ways words are transmitted. According to the scripture says soft words breaks the bone. There are ways words are transmitted that it can either destroy a relationship or make a relationship. So you must understand that you must develop the skill of effective transmission. Then number two, you must develop what I call right timing mentality. Develop right timing mentality. And number three, develop right place mentality. There's right timing, there's right place. And then number four, develop right method mentality. There are right methods to communicate. And then number five, develop the act of truthfulness. In communication, truthfulness is a foundation. In communication, you must understand the act of truthfulness. And then number six, you must develop the act of love and care in communication. I think with that, we have been able to understood some few things about communication and the importance of it. Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, Pastor, Reverend, Father, Any Solomon Nosa. With just a short period that you have spoken to us for the first time, I have really learned few points that I've never learned before. You see, that is what we call transformational. Because the more you are willing to learn, the more you are willing to go to the conference and learn, you learn new things every day.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you honor our invitation.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sharing with us
Thank
about
you,
communication. And thank you so much for being with us today. I know that I have scheduled for another day, but because you are here today, I just think it was necessary for us to hear from you. But feel free to still join us tomorrow or Saturday.
Okay.
Can you quickly, for just 1 minute, tell us about yourself, sir?
Okay, I am Pastor Eni Solomon Nosa. I run a radio program called Transformational Half Hour. And then it's a radio program that has been channeled towards establishing hope for the hopeless. And we have testimonies of people who wanted to commit suicide, who, after listening to the program, decided not to commit suicide. I'm also an author. I have a book called Power of Decision. I'm a pastor, I'm a leader. I have a Bible Institute that I run. And then, above all, I'm a lover of God. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Over to you, Dr. Haley.
Thank you, Queen Elizabeth, because thank you so much. And yes, we are here all gathered in Yes You Can International Transformational Leadership Conference, which is, the theme is Communication is Relationship, how to improve and how important it is. And with the topic that we are here today, our Rev Pastor, our Father Annie, has actually truly explained the true definition of the communication and the acts of communication. Thank you so much for your elegant speech, sir. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Thank you. We're blessed to have you. Yeah, thank you so much. And next, we call upon our next eminent speaker on stage today. Will be um, Her Excellency. Shall I proceed with the list, or do we have?
Yes, with the list. And I think it's Professor Charles.
Uh,
Is it the next?
Professor Charles is in,
Oh, yes.
or Dr. Tanya?
I haven't seen Dr. China. He's still on his way. She's still on her way coming. So,
Okay.
yes, please.
Okay,
Let's
let's
move
call
on.
upon Professor Charles, which is next on our list. So we call upon the next eminent speaker on our list, Professor Dr. General Uvario U. Charles. The stage is yours, sir. Please take over.
Thank you very much, my able moderator. It has
Thank
been
you
a
so much.
nice time seeing you, your discussion, everything about you. I just thank God for you. May God continue to sustain you and keep you. And I thank God for our able sister who has invited us. And I pray that God will continue to nourish her with wisdom. Today is a unique day in the sense that what we are going to discuss is so important to humanity. What is it like? Communication in relationship, its importance and its improvement. This is all about using our skills, either verbal skill, written skill, physical skill, to fulfill our partner's needs with God on our side in Christ Jesus. A strong and healthy relationship is built on 3 C's: communication, compromise, and commitment. The ability to communicate is a gift from God to enable us to develop relationship with others and to create culture. Let us continue to study, theorizing about communication, which will enable us to discover serviceable insights to help us to become good stewards of everything that God has entrusted to us. Proverbs says, it is fully to respond before we hear. In order to hear, we must devote our full attention to our partners without distraction. Communication in relationship foster trust and connection. A foundation of healthy relationship is that both partners feel comfortable being truly open with each other in sharing thoughts and opinions. We should treat our couples as they want to be treated, not as we would like to be treated. Relationship is being created by God. Therefore, God wants us to always communicate to Him and to our partners. Why? Because He faithfully owns true to His promise and to be close to broken-hearted and to love us unfailingly. There are 7 C's of communication: completeness, concreteness, courtesy, correctness, clarity, consideration, and concernedness. Communication in relationship should follow 7 principles: comprehensive, clarity, attention and style, cohesion, timeliness, urgency, importance of feedback. How can we improve on communication skills? We process your feelings first. We think about timing. We start with I statements and feelings. We focus on being heard, listening. Make compromising and resolution the goal. Set clear boundaries. Leave note for your partner. Regularly check in throughout the day. Avoid communication pitfalls like silent treatments, bringing up past mistakes, yelling or screaming, walking away, inappropriate humor when you are in the midst of arguing, disrespectful nonverbal behavior. Finally, our communication in relationship should be effective This is the process of sending ideas, thoughts, opinion, knowledge, and data so that the message is received and understood with clarity and purpose when both couple, partner, sender, receiver feel satisfied. We must totally dependence on God, even in a troubled world and amidst the uncertainties, hazards, and dangers surrounding or befalling us to follow God, but not without enabling and giving us the spirit to lead and guide, and the grace to strengthen and sustain us, our journey of faith in God. Couples must be committed to working through challenges and growing together, builds trust and intimacy, and helps release the fear and doubts that holds couples back. With the timing given to me, I want to stop here. So next time, I'll be able to give more talk on this. Thank you very much. I am my humble servant, a man of God, the founder and the global commander general of Dynamic Peace Rescue Mission International, and the core board member of International Internship University, a researcher, an academician, an insurer, a peacekeeper, an administrator, to mention but few. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Professor Charles, for your time, for your word of knowledge and even wisdom, and especially on communication, because I know that our lives will never be the same again when we continue to improve ourselves. Thank you so much, mentor. Thank you for the great works you are doing out there, and we appreciate you. We will continue to invite you to be coming and cheering with us all the time. We will not stop calling you. I also want to quickly say something about Professor TPS. Thank you also. He's also my mentor. He made mention of something that I just want us to quickly understand. He said that communication is, he said that communication, we need to keep communicating and learning the skills of communication. The most important thing that he said that I really love so much was that be a listener more than a speaker. That means listen more. And then as think about it, meditate on it, because that's the only way it can help us. And I also keep on saying it. Don't go to any conference. Just go in there to just speak and then move on. Hang around, because you might be missing something that you need for your life. The more we empty a cup of water, when we're thirsty, we want to fill our cup again. And that is what transformation is all about. Transformation is when you express yourself. You bring out what is within you, your opinion, your ideas, your thought. Then you need to respect others as well by receiving from them. That's the way to move forward. That's the way of transformation. And I want to say thank you so much, my two mentors. Thank you, Professor Dr. TPS. Thank you so much, Professor Charles. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for checking on me. And thank you for supporting me in everything I do. I appreciate you, sirs. And over to you, Dr. Amy. I notice Professor Nada will be there. Is not here at the moment. She's already texted me to say she will be joining us later. Okay. So let's move on to the next one, please.
Thank you, Queen Elizabeth. Thank you. The best part of my 2 years of journey with Professor Queen Elizabeth Lucas is that she always makes her effort to gather the great souls which have love and care towards one another to share their life experience to make this a better world. Along with that is our Professor Charles, who actually just spoken before, who actually shared his life experience, who have given us the 7 C's of the communication, and also thought about communication is about comfortableness. Yes, we are so comfortable with your speech and your experience that you have shared today, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so
Thank you.
much great pleasure to have you. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very much.
Dr. Charles.
God bless
Professor
you.
Charles. Sorry.
Thank you very much. God bless
Yes,
you.
and also you mentioned, yes, you mentioned God created the relationship for us to have a relationship with Him, and also to every one of us who are here communicating our hearts to each other. Thank you so much for all our eminent speakers who have actually spoken before, and also the one that is coming next. The next eminent speaker for today is Bishop, Professor Dr. Ravinda Rena.
Yeah, she's on her way coming. She's not
Okay.
here yet. So we
Okay.
can call the next person.
Okay.
Please.
The next we have on our list is Professor Gul Pervaz. Is Professor Gul Pervaz?
Let me see. It's the next one after Professor Nadia is Bishop Nelson Pavas.
All right. Next we call upon Bishop Pastor Nelson Parvis. His Excellency, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, my Excellency. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you, dear Queen Elizabeth, and our dear moderator, and all participants, leaders. Greeting, peace, love, shalom, salam, shanti, namaste, Sat Sri Akal, assalamu alaikum, and many other greetings according to everyone's faith and belief and tradition. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good day. Being YYCI ambassador, we are family. We are peace. We are one family. Thank you for joining this beautiful conference. Our topic today is communication in relationship, how important and how can we improve it. So there are different topics: communication, relationship. What is communication? Communication is one of the most important skills required for a successful life. And we can say the ability to communicate is a gift from God to enable us to develop relationship with others and to create culture. As we observe communication, we can check, we can have a checklist, and we can remember 5 alphabet C, 5 C's for communication. Number 1, communication must be clear and cohesive, complete and concise and concrete. This is very important. When we see the life and preaching of Jesus Christ, what is the Jesus method of communication? Jesus communicated through parables as a symbolic representation of issues in order to provide thoughtful consideration on the part of audience. The way God speaks to us, how does communication affect our relationship with God? Everyone's relationship with God and meaning of communication with Him is different. For example, worshiping God through song, reading the Bible, feeling an indesirable peace through prayer. We can also able to connect with God. That is also a communication, because prayer is a conversation. Prayer is a communication, and prayer is a conversation and effective way of communication with God. And we are able to express our feeling to God. God also expresses his desire to our heart and gives answer of our prayers. When we read James 1:19-20, it mentions everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Communication from God to a person is by word, impressions, visions, dreams, and actual appearance. Ways of communication. There are 4 ways of communication. Number 1, teaching others the truth. And number 2, building up one another in truth. Encourage one another by truth. And bless others by speaking the truth. So truth is the main thing in communication. We cannot communicate, we cannot say that we have a good communication with telling lie. But communication, good communication, effective communication is the truth. 4 style of communication are also very important, like a assertive, passive or aggressive communication, and also non-verbal communications. With the lack of communication, if we have a lack of communication, what will happen? The lack of communication can lead to blame, relationship anxiety, depression, resentment in relations. And why communication is very important? In our daily life, communication helps us in building relationship by allowing us to share our experience and needs and help us connect with others. It is also, we can say, exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium or means of sending or receiving information. And we can also say communication is the act of giving. Communication is act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. In other words, we also can say talking or writing or listening or reading, and good communication, listen. Good communicators always listen carefully, speak or write clearly, and respect different opinions. Communication can also be defined as the process or act of exchanging, expression, or conveying information and ideas through writing, speaking. And it is essential of our life. It is essential essence of our life, allowing us to express feelings, pass on information, and share thoughts. We can have culture, society, and civilization without the ability to communicate with one another. And what are the benefits of good communication? Good communication prevents wars and give us peace, which means unconditional love, and prevent from misunderstanding. Good communication gives us the lesson of peace and the lesson to live for the sake of others, like a selfless life. Good communication helps us meet our needs and establish rules and law that aids in the structuring of the society. Good communication helps people find and keep employment, and it also provides information and guideline and guidance to people to live with peace in multicultural, multilingual, multi-faith, inter-religious, and interdenominational society, community, and culture with different traditions. And we can also say there are different means of communication like a postal service, telegraph service, telecommunication, courier service, electronic method, internet service, radio and television, and social media. And we
Okay.
can conclude, sorry, just I'm concluding, communication is the
Thank you, sir.
sending and receiving of information and can be one-on-one or between group of people and can be face-to-face through communication advice. So I can just finish with I started with the 5C and I'm finishing with the 3C, and these 3Cs are also very important for healthy relationship and communication, compromise, and commitment. Thank you for listening. God bless you. We are family. We are, yes, you can, international family.
Thank you so
Good.
much, Bishop. I'm so glad that you mentioned the last C at the end as well, because I was struggling. Which one is the third one? So thank you so much for recapping from the beginning. Thank you so much for the information. We will continue to build ourselves up through all this. Thank you for sharing the benefits of communication in relationship. Thank you also for sharing with us that the most important thing for us is to build ourselves up with this kind of relationship. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you, Dr. Amy. Dr. Amy, can I also let you know that the next speaker, I don't know if you get my message. The next speaker is, yes, because I got a message from Professor Rena. So over to you.
Thank you, Queen Elizabeth. Thank you so much. A tongue who always blesses everyone has spoken. And it's my honor and pleasure to address our Bishop Pastor Nelson Preves' speech, who has spoken the truth of communication. Kind thanks for your blessings words, sir. Every time you speak, it's just like a blessing words that's coming out for the whole entire family of our Yes, You Can International. We are a family, and ability to communicate is a gift. And it's a gift for us to hear your words. Thank you so much, Bishop Pastor. Let's give a round of applause to Bishop, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for your words. Next, we call upon our eminent speaker on our family member here, who is going to come to the stage and rock the show now, is Ambassador Hollis Idabor. The stage is yours.
Hello, Ambassador Hollis Idabor, because I know you said you are on your way to work. Are you still with us or you've left already? Okay, we're not going to waste much time.
Okay.
Ambassador Hollis Idabor? No, okay. All right, please call the next speaker.
Shall we call Professor Dr. Ravinder Rena?
Yes. No, he's not here yet. The next one. Yes.
Next one.
After Bishop.
After Bishop is Arena. Next we call upon. Okay, next we call.
Sorry.
Yes.
Who's there?
Who's here? Ida is around. He's here. I just received the instructions.
Yes, we are calling him, but Hello, Ambassador Holly Idapo? No, he's not responding. So maybe it's the connection. So we just keep calling him later because he said he's on his way to work, but I don't know. Anyway, can we move on, please?
Okay, right, sure.
Yeah.
So next we
Thank
call
you. Thank you, Dr. Adeogun, for also checking for me. All right. Okay. Next.
Okay. Next we call upon Ambassador Aksa Majid. I think I can see Aksa Majid there. Can we call upon her? Yes. Yes, Professor Aksa Majid, the stage is yours. Please take over.
Thank you. God bless all of you. In the name of Jesus, good morning, good afternoon, and salam, namaste, shalom, and every traditional greeting to everyone. Thank you so much, first of all, to be very honestly, to speak in this platform that Dr. Queen Elizabeth to giving me a second chance to speak in this platform. And thank you so much, my Honorable Bishop Nelson Pervez, to giving me this opportunity. And what a beautiful connection in this platform we can sharing, and we can ideas to share in this area. And yes, we are in living in a family. Yes, you can International Leadership Conference is a great opportunity to giving, sharing, to communicate with all of you. So today my topic, and also we are talking lots of things and sharing lots of ideas according to this topic, communication. So communication is one of like a backbone of the relationship in this world. So we are living in this world in a circle. So communication is basically a circle. So one point is a sender, and second point is a receiver, and at that time 2% to connect a message. So message, rather than you can use other mediums, and you can use language, and you can use body language and other things. So a beautiful verse on according to Bible, that James 1 chapter and 19 verse, brother and sister to listen carefully. It's a very good point and great example to listen to carefully in communication. When we connect with, I'm a visual artist, and I'm also an adult educationist. So when I start the Sunday school, and when I start the class to create the image, so in this I sharing just one thing with all of you, that when we saw that cave art, I know it's a short time to sharing, so you can see this image, cave art. So first language in this world, when we express body language, and after that we draw something on a cave. So cave art, we can when we study and when we create, see and listen that how can people to connect to other things. So cave art is a best communicate. At that time people have no language, so language is not important to express the feeling. So body language and to draw something and do something is more than important. So today you can see the behind on my canvas, and you can also, today I draw this image, a brain. So our feelings comes and through to send it to other person to go to the brain, and I draw this image is a backbone. So relationship is based on communication. So communication like a backbone. And after, you can see this image, it's a huge size painting. You can see this painting made with oil paint on canvas, and you can see that this mind, brain, I draw a brain because we are connected, we are sharing ideas with the brain. if we are sharing something through words, through writing, through other thing, when we start in this brain. So brain is a major point. We can express feeling. So I draw this brain, and you can see, after you can see this seed. I paint this seed. So seed is like our thoughts. When we grow, our negative thoughts and positive thought, and relationship has based on communication. When we to listen carefully to other person, if we are a mother, if we are children, if we are a student or teacher, so we have any relationship. So today I'm sharing one thing with all of you. So when I start the adult peoples to create this image, you can see this image. You can see this image. When we start these children to start the images, apple, ball, and other things. When we start the, so images is the most important to start the language and start to sharing the words. So behind my scene, the feathers. When you can see this feather. I draw this, paint this image, and feather, like when we start the communication to other person, positive act to make this feather. So all these images, you can see this. Please, it's a short time, but I want to sharing all these things, these feather to share, to express these feelings. So brain, and I just use three major things: brain, and seed, and feather, because we have this mind and grow up these ideas and grow these feelings and other things. So my dear all participants, it's a very great opportunity to sharing in this, Madam Dr. Queen Elizabeth, to sharing this as an artist. I share this as an art piece with all of you, according this this topic of communication, and communication based on listen carefully. So when we in this sharing this knowledge and other thing, so be carefully to listen, and when we start to spoke carefully, and after that we can build a good relationship with all of you. So thank you so much, and a happy new month of and happy Christmas season to start. Thank you so much, my great family. Yes, you can International Leadership Conference. God bless all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an expression. That was a great artistic expression there. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ambassador Azak Majid Joseph from Pakistan. Thank you so much. Okay, let me not waste your time too much, because we still have a long way to go. But then I will do my clapping before the moderator asks me to clap. and I think I wasn't the only one. I can see Professor clapping too.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. So over to you, Dr. Amy.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to announce the next eminent speaker that's on the stage. Yes, thank you so much for applauding for our young, vibrant leader who has put so much of effort in what she has actually presented. And it clearly shows that she is an upcoming visual artist who's going to reach to the top, and we bless her with so much of blessings and love, and so much of our care and support for you to become what you want to become. And thank you so much. We couldn't even get our eyes out of the screen. We just like wanted to see what is she like showing, and so much of effort she has put in to show us. And I know it's a short time that you have actually made us gone beyond what is the topic about communication. Listening is the key of communication. Thank you so much, dear. You have made the day for our conference. And next we move on to our next eminent speaker, who's ready and energetic to share his speech. Ambassador Holis Edabor. Stage is yours, sir. Take over.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I Dr. Amy, thank you very much for being here. I will start by saying I want to thank my mentor, Professor Dr. Elizabeth, for the opportunity to be here. You know, it's always a privilege to be here to share from my own wisdom. Thank you all the speakers who have spoken thus far. Thank you very much from different country. I want to say thank you to the moderators from different nations. Thank you very much. So today, because of our time, I want to really set you on fire. I'll be using 2 points to speak. 2 points. Number one is communication is the vehicle that transits value. Communication is the vehicle that transits value. Now, there's a saying that says that develop your communication skills, because when you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. Develop your communication skills, because when you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. So the world cannot know who you are until you open your mouth. So you can even have we can have so much value, but if you cannot communicate your value, then you're almost useless. So it's not enough to have value within you. Can the world understand the value you are transiting? So I say communication is a vehicle that transits value. And what am I saying in a nutshell? You can be a visionary. If you cannot transit your value to the followers, they cannot follow you. Why we follow people is because we can perceive the value they can offer or bring to the table. One reason why people will follow you is because they can perceive the value that you have communicated to them. So communication is a vehicle that transits value. So even you can, what's it called? You can as an innovator or a creator, as a creator or as a creator and innovator, you can have an idea. But if you cannot communicate your idea to your investor, you cannot get their money. See, you can even have the idea, billion-dollar idea. If you cannot communicate your idea to your investor, you cannot get the money. So communication is a vehicle that transits value. Even as a visionary, you can have a vision. For people to follow you, it implies that you have to communicate your vision. So communication is very, very important. It's a vehicle that transits value. Jesus told Peter, he said, Peter, what are you doing? You are catching fish. I will make you a fisher of men. So it implies that you can have so much to offer to the world, but communication is important, because people will not follow you because of for anything, but for the level of understanding of your vision. So number two again is communication is a seed in relationship. Communication is a seed. Why did I say it's a seed? Because you can be in a relationship with somebody, perhaps any kind of relationship. If you cannot water that seed, it will not grow. So in every relationship, communication is a seed that you have to water consistently. Do you get what I'm saying? Now you can communicate well today. If you don't do that tomorrow, you may lose that relationship. So communication is a seed you water every single day to maintain that relationship. Communication again is what? Is a seed, because every relationship is for a purpose. So if you cannot nurture that relationship with communication, you can't go far. Now, I can know you today. If I cannot communicate with you well tomorrow, I might even lose you despite what we have been together yesterday. So it implies that you have to keep owning your communication skills, upgrade yourself. See how you can update yourself, because a lot of persons today have become obsolete because they cannot upgrade themselves. So it's a skill that should not be dormant. It's a skill that should always be upgraded. Just like you have iPhone, you have iPhone 10, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 13. So as a skill, you have to do what? You have to upgrade yourself. It's a skill, but if you don't upgrade your skill, then you cannot go far. So I will stop because of our time. I said two things. Number one is communication is a vehicle that transits value, because you tell the world who you are when you open your mouth. Number two is communication is a seed. Always upgrade yourself. Whatever you do not upgrade becomes useless in the market. Whatever you don't upgrade becomes useless in the market. There are so many big companies out there that refuse to upgrade, and they have lose relevance in the market. So for you not to lose relevance, you have to develop your communication skills consistently. Not once, not twice, consistently. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, my coach, my mentor, for having me. Thank you, everyone who has been here, who has listened. I know these 2 points will really go far if we understand what it goes for.
It's very, very important. And those 2 points you've shared weigh mightily, because without expressing and communicating what you have, who you are, the world will not know you. And like we always say that we have greatness in us. And if you don't share the greatness to others, or for the world to see who you are, what you carry, and what you're doing, then it will just be dominant. So I just want to appreciate it is quick, short. Like I said, you don't have to spend 5 hours talking or 1 hour talking. If you speak for only 1 minute, and that 1 minute, we can capture it, that makes all the difference. It's about listening and understanding. Either you have spoken for 1 minute or you have spoken for 1 hour. The most important is for the audience to understand and also to progress with what they've learned from you. So thank you so much. I won't say much. We hand over to Dr. Amy.
Kind thanks,
Dr. Amy.
Professor. Kind thanks, Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth. Thank you so much. I have been a speaker and I've been a moderator for the last 3 years on the online platform. And every time I've been asked to actually moderate a show, I will assure them that I will rock the show and I will make it a blockbuster hit. And with God's grace, it will turn out to be one. But here today, it has gone beyond. Ambassador Holly Idabo has gone beyond by setting the show on fire. Thank you so much, Holly, Ambassador Holly Evoda. You have taken the show to the next level and you deserve a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that young, energetic leader. And communication is a seed. Upgrade yourself. Yes, let's all of us upgrade ourselves and let's move on to our next eminent speaker. Is everyone on fire?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Let's go. So next week, the stage is yours, sir.
Okay. Who did you call? Dr. Amy?
Professor Gul Pervais.
Okay. Okay. Now we can hear.
Hey, thank you, Dr.
Thank you, sir.
And, for giving me such a precious time. Unfortunately, I couldn't take some time because there was a clash.
Thank you.
In my classes and session. So directly coming to the point, I would like to talk about the importance of communication in relationship. So to start with, we can say that coming up with just one single definition of love is complicated because every individual has his or her own perception of what love is. The only way to experience the true meaning of love is to experience it for oneself. However, in our lives and the lives of others, love is evident regardless of whether it is in families, friends, or couples. Love is a precious feeling. A major additive of dating requires constant communication among couples in a relationship. If communication lacks, in a relationship, it may make the relationship and the bond shared between both individuals weak and could cause it to crumble. The basic reason for challenges in relationships is the lack of communication in a relationship. So, communication sets the foundation for a healthy relationship. And when the foundation of a relationship is not built on communication, it makes it easy for both partners to lose interest in each other. Both partners in a relationship need to know how to communicate through the matters in a relationship, no matter what situation might arise in their relationship. Building trust, honesty, and respect start with communication. In a healthy relationship, communication is founded on truth and taking into consideration the other person's point of view. Partners in a relationship need to learn not to blame or criticize one another based on what they say or feel about a certain matter in the relationship. So, considering each other's point of view is the best step in nurturing and growing a wholesome relationship. When we despise one another's point of view, it increases the chance of disagreement in a relationship, which could break the bond built. So, blaming one another or pointing fingers at one another does not help solve the problems in our relationship. However, blaming one another without having a basic understanding of what the issue is in the relationship only makes the problem worse and can cause mistrust between both partners. Communication is the most effective element that will help to settle disputes in a relationship on mutual terms. And it is also mental, verbal, and physical, but most relationships fail due to lack of communication between both partners. So couples should learn how to communicate with themselves, regardless of how familiar they already are with one another and how much love they have for one another. So none of the partners should assume he or she can read the other partner's mind. They both should communicate clearly to avoid any misunderstanding that may lead to resentment or confusion, anger or hurt. It takes two people to be in a relationship, and each person has a distinct way of communicating styles and needs. The best way for each couple is to find the best way to communicate with one another in a way that suits their relationship. For couples to achieve a healthy communication style, it takes hard work and practice, and gradually they will become perfect at it. Couples should be clear when communicating with each other so that they can both understand and receive the message. When spouses talk to their partners, they should try to have a conversation without having any sort of distraction like television, telephone, or computers, etc., etc. So, talk about what you want, feel, and need. Couples should learn to listen to one another, putting aside their feelings and thoughts, and rather owe it to their partner to understand their partner's feelings, wants, and needs. The tone of the voice is also very much important when couples communicate. Another way for couples to um, indulge in effective communication is by good listening. A good listener encourages his or her partner to be honest about everything. People often confuse communication for talking or making conversation. And this is the root cause of why many of these people are so unsuccessful in communicating with their partners. So communication is in relationships at its core is about connecting and using your verbal, written, and physical skills to fulfill your partner's needs, not just making small talk. So as we try, as we get into a relationship, we frequently overlook which perspective we focus on. This most of the time seems to be our perspective only. We tend to forget that our partner also has his or her insight on an issue or topic. This can cause different expectations and interpretations. Both partners in a relationship must equally share their insights and differences in a given situation in a relationship. So practice makes a man perfect. So both partners must continually practice communicating their perspective repeatedly for the duration of the relationship. As we grow and change, our perceptions and expectations also grow and change. This alone can have a profound effect on our relationship. So quite often in a relationship, we tend to believe and expect our partner to be able to read our expectations and expressions. Communicating our love language to our partner helps to form healthy communication in the relationship. First, we must know as individuals what our needs and wants are, and then we can verbally communicate this with our partner repeatedly. No one in a relationship should assume automatically that his or her partner understands and knows how to show and express his or her partner's love language, because they might have a different interpretation of how to express it. Therefore, communication should be a key in every aspect of relationship. So far as the non-verbal communication is concerned, non-verbal communication defines how our body language interprets the process of communicating reactions and emotions. Non-verbal communication is also a very helpful form of communication in that it helps a partner to understand what the other partner is saying. There is a popular saying that action speaks louder than words. Sometimes what a person is saying verbally does not coincide with what might be said non-verbally. Often, non-verbal language is more powerful and truthful. This is why partner must acknowledge and be truthful in both verbal and the non-verbal messages. So communication is important in relationship as it allows us to share our interests and concerns and support each other, organize our lives and make decisions, and it allows us to work together. So effective communication is based on the way we talk and listen and the way we respond. We learn how to improve the way we communicate. It takes more than words to create a safe, exciting, and secure relationship. Too often, the signals we send are not those we intend to send. When this happens, both connection and trust are lost in the relationships. When we communicate, we can say a lot without speaking. Our body postures, gestures, and tone also communicate. So there is nothing that keeps a relationship strong and healthy except effective communication. So remember, it is very easy to say other people's mistakes, but not too easy when taking a look at ourselves. It is much harder to accept criticism because no one wants to be wrong. This is where we need to get real about things. Communication is not about who is right or wrong, but instead about help helping one another and seeing things from one another's perspective, so that we can be on the same page and avoid any misunderstanding that may lead to unneeded arguments. So communication is not so complicated.
So
Effective communication
Professor
cannot
Guy,
happen on its
Professor,
own, or okay.
Professor, can you round up, please? Can you round up, please? Thank
So
you.
the last thing is that effective communication cannot happen on its own or with the efforts of the only one person. It is, in fact, a bilateral phenomenon. Thank you, Doctor, for giving
Thank you
me
so much.
this much time. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Gal Avas from Pakistan. Thank you so much for your information about communication. And I think we've learned a lot more about communication today and how we can improve ourselves while communicating. I also like the fact that you said actions speak louder than voice, that sometimes we can say a lot without speaking. Thank you so much for coming, for honoring our visit. I think you are one of our ambassadors. Am I correct? From Pakistan? I think you are. So thank you so much for sharing with us. Yes, sir. God bless. Over to you, Dr. Amy.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Quinn. Thank you so much. Love is the force that moves the world, and action speaks louder than words. Instead of appreciating with words, let's show some action towards Professor Gul Pravas. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you. I just felt like the guru of love has actually spoken. Thank you so much for your kind words about love, sir. Thank you so much. That was a great explanation. And next, we move on to our next eminent speaker, Professor Dr. Ravinda Rena. The stage is yours. Professor Rena.
I think it's the connection because he's here. I can see him. I don't know what's happened again. But Professor Ravinda Rena. Okay. In order not to waste our time, because it's already 12 o'clock, let's call the next. Professor Rena, are you communicating? Are you responding? Not yet. Okay, let's move on to the next one, please.
Okay, sure. So next we call upon Ambassador Idada Humphrey.
Yeah, he's not here. Let's move forward. Let's move to Ambassador Deborah Temple, please. I think she's here.
Next, we call upon Ambassador Deborah Tembo. Please take over.
Well, hold on a minute. I think Professor Ravinda Rena is here.
I think I saw him also. Yes,
okay.
Professor.
Okay.
Professor Dr. Rena.
Yes, Amy and Prof. Elizabeth, colleagues from different corners of the world. Always a pleasure to be part of this particular webinar series, and thank you to our professor and doctor and sister Queen Elizabeth. And Amy, nice to see you again after a long time. And all other colleagues, there are a number of colleagues I can see they are also present. Thank you again for the opportunity. That the topic that you choose is very, very important, and we all should focus. We are talking about HIV/AIDS because it's AIDS Day today, 1st of December 2022. We talk about coronavirus. We talk about so many other issues, global climate change issues, but we don't talk about this communication issues. Communication is a key in any relationship that we have. We have got, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 8 billion people living on this planet. As of 15th of November 2022, we reached to 8 billion people in this world. So imagine that almost 50% of the men are 50% of them are women, by and large. And then the communication is the biggest problem in our world today. There is a hegemony by the developed countries. The developed countries, they are only 25 to 30% in the world, whereas the developing countries, they got 75 to 70 to 75% in the world. But when the language, the developed countries, they speak the language, there's always some kind of power in the language. You don't need power in communication. You need love, you need affection, you need bond, you need some kind of commitment and a sense of responsibility. So that's hegemony. Even during the Barack Obama's administration, there are a number of documents that have been changed because the language is too harsh, too hard. That will break the relationship actually. There's so now the world is divided into two parts, developed and developing countries, because of the language barriers, and that literally plays a crucial role in the relationships among the nations. Now we divided not the countries one side, south countries are global south on the other side. The global south cannot be united because within the global south we have differences among ourselves. We cannot able to establish a relationship because we don't communicate with them properly. So the communication plays a crucial role. We do have, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 7,152 languages in this world today. And out of these 7,152, majority of the languages that are not being spoken at all. And some of the languages are dying every few months, one language is dying because there's nobody to speak about that language. We have more than 30 languages that are dominant languages across the globe. And that is where more large number of people, millions of people, they speak the language. But whichever language we use, but again, the previous speakers also mentioned about the love and the care. The element of love and care is missing. Whether it is a family, nowadays there is no boundaries among the people. Your family can be your enemies because of the language, or because of the relationship, because of the communication issues. Whereas somebody, a stranger, can become your family. So anything is possible. Even a family member, the relationship or the communication is not being properly done among the family members. Your family member can turn as your enemy in no time. So therefore, we need to be soft when we speak with our family members, with our friends, with our relatives, with our colleagues, with other community members in general. We need to be soft. So the softness in our tone, softness in our communication plays a crucial role. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to remember that the problems that we see, we encounter in our day-to-day life, 90% of the problems, they are created by ourselves, the way we speak, the way we behave, the way we react. So if you could able to use that soft tone in the communication, the relationship, even if there's almost in the verge of collapsing, that relationship will be saved. So your tone will play a vital role. You create a problem for yourself, 90%, 10% of the problems that we face in this world, they are not in your hand. They could be accidents, they could be tsunamis, they could be earthquakes, it could be any number of natural calamities or man-made calamities. The 10% only, they are not in your hand, but 90% of them in your hand because of the fact that the relationship is depending upon the way we communicate. And whether it is an employee-employee relationship, whether it is customer and service provider relationship, whether it is husband and wife relationship, or father and mother relationship, and sister and brother relationship, whichever relationship we talk about, the communication, the softness in your communication, the way you express your sentiments, and the way you express your love and the care and the dedication, the responsibility, that plays a key role in our relationships. So most of the relationships nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, it's so broken. And we see in South African context, for example, there are 75% of the ladies are single women. They don't have husbands and they don't have a man that can take care of them. So the meaning is that there is no proper communication among themselves, either from the ladies' side or from the gents' side. There is a saying that I know our sisters and mothers will upset, but there's a saying that when a man begins to speak, a lady listens only 50%, and then she understands 25%, whereas she reacts 100%. So, of course, that is also the same token goes with the men as well. It's not only the women, though people, they try to make a joke of the women, but it's also the same thing, listening, understanding, and then reacting. That is why speech is silver, silence is gold. So when you speak too much, then that becomes like a silver, which is lower value than the gold. And when you are silent and patiently listen and communicate whenever it is necessary with your soft voice, with your kind voice, it will make the difference. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, in our total lifespan, our lifespan is too little. Within this short span of life, we can only communicate with almost about 50 people to maximum 150 people. You cannot communicate with thousands of people on daily basis, on regular basis, actually. If you communicate with one person in 6 months' time, are you communicating with the same person in that 6 months' time or not? You need to question. There is a research study that was conducted recently that allows, if you are relatively a free person, if you are a busy person, the maximum number of people that you could able to communicate is only 50. If you are relatively free, you can go maximum of 150. So 150 is maybe there are exceptions like our Professor Elizabeth can be talking to thousands of people across the globe, but in a rare occasions like this. But in general, any human being, they can only have time to speak with 50 to 150 people at a time. So therefore, in the interest of time, I would like to conclude by saying that communication plays a crucial role. If you are sitting with an authority, with a chair, with a power, your power is, you shouldn't you look at the power, but you should look at the responsibility. There is no authority actually. We're all equal human beings in this world. Somebody is giving to you a responsibility, but people, they convert that into power and try to exercise the power, use the tone that they use. That's where they break the relationships. That's where they try to have a harsh communication with our colleagues. Whether you are a CEO of a company, whether you are talking to you a security guard or a cleaner or a peon, you use the same tone what you are using to your fellow board of directors or maybe general manager, for instance. So that is why the communication, ladies and gentlemen, plays a crucial role. We all educated people. Sometimes you will be thinking that you are educated, but your education doesn't matter any. It doesn't take you anywhere. It will be like a flat tire, whether you have a PhD degree, whether you are a full professor, or whether you are a vice chancellor, Harvard University, or UCT, wherever you are. Your communication is not right. You're not a right human being, actually. As simple as that. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, with this few words, communication plays a crucial role in the relationship, and then we need to be having a soft corner. And with your soft voice, with your kind words, you can make a blind to see who you are, what you are doing, a deaf to listen what you are trying to say, actually. So that's why communication is absolutely important in relationship building. Let us hope, and today is the 1st of December, the 2023 onwards, whatever we have, let us leave that behind and try to build ourselves, try to shape ourselves that we could be a better communicator and we could be also indulge and put that love, element of love in our communication so that they feel that love, not that authority. With these few words, I would like to thank our sister Elizabeth and Emmy and all other colleagues. Thank you for listening to me.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really gained a lot from you, sir, Professor. And first of all, I want to express my gratitude because you should be lecturing in one university somewhere at the moment. I know you've been so busy. Well, you also took your time to quickly come and share with us on this platform. I want to say thank you, sir. We appreciate you. You believe in YYCI and you believe we can transform. And that is why you always make time, even when there is no time. So I want to say thank you. And what you've shared with us today is very important. I'm also learning from that as well, because sometimes as an entrepreneur and as a leader out there, there's tendency to want to be harsh. It's true. And there's tendency to be hard. It's true. So I'm also learning. I'm also learning. I think in one way, we just have to balance it. We need to be soft in one way, and we also need to be hard in one way, and I really appreciate the fact that, yes, we have to speak as a human being. I like that part. And not to focus on power, or title, but to focus on responsibility. I like that one too. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. Over to you, Dr. Amy.
Thank you so much, Queen Elizabeth. Thank you so much. And Professor Dr. Ravinder Rena, it's nice to catch you back again. Thank you so much, sir. Always love to see you speak, and also as like how your students are learning from you. I'm also learning, and we are all learning from you. Thank you so much. And I can see the softness in your heart, and let's every one of us show our heart to game. Thank you so much. This is our love for you.
Okay.
This is our love for you. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is how we appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's all from our heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure, sir.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Nice. Next, we move on to our eminent speaker who's waiting to speak on the stage here. Next, we call upon Ambassador Kande Kangbo. Ambassador Kande Kangbo, the stage is yours. We're waiting to hear from you. If it's not there, shall we move on?
Yes, he's here.
Good afternoon to this noble conference, and I want to thank all the presentees that are part of this conference, and I send you greetings from Sierra Leone. And let me go straight to the topic because of time. And I also want to say thanks to
Ambassador Kande. Is it possible to see your face? Is it possible?
Sure.
Is it possible to show your face? Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon once more again. I send you greetings from Sierra Leone. And I want to say thanks to other speakers that have done their own. And I also want to thank the Global Director and Queen Elizabeth Lucas Afolo for inviting me to this wonderful program. And let me go straight to the topic about communication and that of relationship. And what do we mean about communication? Communication is power. The word power is very much important when we talk about communication. Communication will help you expose your talent. And when you say communication is power, how? The letter that you write will help you destroy or rather build up your relationship. The words that you tell your couple will destroy and also build your relationship. Communication helps you to build and destroy a relationship. How? If you want to maintain or build your relationship, you must know the skills in communication. By knowing your skills, you should be able to build your relationship without destroying it. What are the things that we do to destroy our relationship? Lack of respect. If there's no respect in any relationship, that relationship will break away. Lack of honesty. There should be honesty between both parties. Where there's no honesty, that relationship will not continue. Lack of good communication. Because we cannot only say communication. We have bad and good communication. The way you talk to your companion, the way you talk to your couple sounds positive for that relationship. Malice. If you continue to malice each other, that relationship will break away. Lack of understanding. There should be understanding between both of you. Where there's no understanding, that relationship will not continue. So therefore, because of time, I want to leave this podium with a word that communication is power. The word power is very important in communication. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's wonderful.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. This is powerful. This communication is powerful. We can be here all day talking about communication because without communication, I don't know how we can exist. Without communication, I don't know how we can have relationship. But then communication is communication, but we need to see the importance of it, and we also need to improve, because I believe everyone, we are communicating now. Everybody is communicating, but how we can improve it will lead us to the next level. How we can improve our communication, we allow us, our lives, our relationship to be more transformed. And I want to say thank you so much, Ambassador Kande Campbell. Over to you,
Thank you
Dr.
very
Amy.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Elizabeth Lucas. Thank you so much.
Oops, sorry. Sorry, we can hear you. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Professor Dr. Singh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me the honor to appreciate our ambassador, Kande Kangbo, who has actually given the words can build or destroy. Yes, you have actually nailed it. Thank you so much, Ambassador Kande Kangbo. Thank you so much for all the words that you have given. Respect and honest is very important in communication. That's really, really true. We respect you and thank you for being here with us. And next we call upon Ambassador Dr. Anger Adremi Adishna Ademite.
Yes,
Sorry.
he's not here today. So can we
Okay.
call the final speaker, the last speakers of today? Like I said,
Okay.
we're really being conscious of the time. We have 3 days to express ourselves. If you don't have opportunity to speak today, tomorrow is there, and Saturday is also there. Let's call on Ambassador Deborah again, Tembo, because she's here.
Ah, nice.
Yes.
We call upon Ambassador Deborah Tembo.
Oh,
Here
wow,
you come.
yes.
Yours.
We got her.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mom Elizabeth. And thank you, Doc. I'm here. It is nice to be here, and I'm also happy to have learned a lot from the previous speakers on communication. I think it's very important, and I think we have learned a lot with regards to communication, and we have got an understanding that indeed communication helps to build a lot of issues with relation to the way we communicate. I think the bigger picture is how can we use this communication to improve it to build our relationships. And just to add on a lot that have been spoken on communication, I think the other aspect that we need to bring in into communication is the aspect of empathy. As we talk to others, we need to ensure that even as we communicate, what we tell others, how do we feel about it? We need to ensure that we put ourselves in the shoes of others so that what we are saying to others will help to build the relationship instead of destroying it. Then as we speak also, we know that even as somebody is talking to you, you need that attention, because if no attention is paid to you, you're talking to somebody and they're not regarding to you, it promotes that picture of not being valued. So as we want to communicate at interpersonal, with friends, with family, as a couple in marriage, there's so much need of adding value to the person that you are talking to. Because if they feel valued and they feel that you are able to give them that chance and opportunity to be able to talk to you, they'll be able to understand you more, and they'll be able to increase the relationship between the two of you, or between that group, whether it is a company, whether it is at work, whether it is interpersonal. As you know, there are a lot of aspects of communication, and we have also learned about the importance of active listening. As somebody is talking to you, you need to know that within you are protected. Somebody is listening to you. Somebody is participating in the communication or in the conversation. So with regard to communication, I think the other important aspect is ensuring that as somebody is talking to us, as we are paying attention to them, we are able to communicate. I think all of us have seen how Elizabeth, the Queen, is able to listen to us, as is actively participating in our conversation. Because if she was not actively participating to the conversation, I don't think anyone would have communicated anything today. So all of us, we need to ensure that in whatever aspect of communication we are conducting, we give that active listening and active participation by nodding, facial expression. They show that, yes, we are together in this communication. I know there are a lot of aspects that we can bring in to ensure that there's effective communication within us, but also we have to ensure that we reduce the physical barriers to communication that can make us not be able to communicate effectively and improve the communication with us, such as noise, being unable to be invisible. You're talking to somebody, you are closed out, you are somewhere else. Even as we communicate, we are conducting counseling, we know that there are certain sitting positions that are not allowed in order to ensure that somebody understands that they are visible and you're together with them. So we need to ensure that we also reduce that. Then also personal barriers. We know that all of us has got different temperaments and attitudes towards everything. So even as we are communicating to others, we have to ensure that we reduce those aspects of personal barriers. There are some of us that are too quiet, but when we are communicating, for it to be effective, we need to ensure that we give opportunity to others to understand us. And there are a lot of things that we can talk about, but all in all, let's ensure that we promote effective communication, we express ourselves, we don't harbor feelings, we talk where need is, but as we are talking, we talk with empathy, understanding how the other person will feel in as much as we are talking. Thank you everyone, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for rounding it up for us. We really appreciate you. Well, I know you've been here right from 10 o'clock and you've been listening, because I've been reading all your comments on the chat. That is why when we are persistently calling your name, I knew that you were here and you have a word for us to listen to today. Now that we are about to round up and close today's program, I just noticed quickly, if I think I'm right, but I think she's logged out again. I guess that is Professor Nagda using International Intensive University icon or something, but I thought I could quickly call her, but I think she's logged out again. So probably something is going on there. Okay. All right. First of all, I want to express this will be the end of our speeches today. So I want to express my greetings. I want to express my gratitude to our Excellency Ambassador Dr. Amy Allen for calming us down and making us feel comfortable to listen and learn, and also to share our thoughts today. I want to say thank you, ma'am, for your time. I know we both of us are here in UK. But then you are on the other side of UK, I'm the other side of UK.
Yes.
But we still appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope it's not too cold for you over there where you are, because I'm trying to put all these double layers here.
It's cool here, so.
So thank you so much for today, and we really appreciate your moderating today. You've really done well. Even while you are moderating, you are also sharing your thoughts, which we also learn from you as well. So thank you so much. If you can join us tomorrow on Saturday, that's fine. But we really appreciate you serving us today. Thank you so much. I also want to express my gratitude to all my great leaders. Just quickly, I know my time is about 3 minutes or so, or I can't do without mentioning few names. Let me start with my mentors. Professor TPS, thank you so much. Bishop Nelson Percy, thank you so much. Professor Charles, thank you so much. Auntie Ambassador Palatito, thank you so much. I know you will speak to us tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ambassador Magic Joseph. Wow, what a great speech. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. I've not heard from Ambassador Gil. So tomorrow, I hope you get yourself prepared because we want to hear from you as well. Ambassador Cassius, thank you so much. Professor Guy Pazan, thank you so much, sir, for your sharing today. We really gain a lot. Thank you so much, Mommy Victoria Ijeoma, for your patience today. Sitting down patiently, listening. You know, that is what leadership is all about. Guess what? If my own mentor can sit down patiently for 2.5 hours, Professor TPS and Professor Charles, you can see that I am learning from them because they taught me. I'm watching them. Whatever steps they are taking, I'm watching. And then for them, out of their busyness, they still sit down, relax, to want to learn from every one of us. I think we should just give them a round. They are my own personal mentor. And what can I say about Daddy Akpabio? Daddy, thank you, sir. Even though I'm a very young child in this place, you still have time to sit down, relax, and listen. And that is what Transformational is all about. When we come to share and also willingness to gain from others, I think it's very, very important because we don't know it all. And no one is perfect. We are all getting better every day, every day. Learning is lifelong. You keep learning until the day that you die. So we keep learning because there will always be new things coming in. I told you before that few of our speakers they've said some things. They've spoken some words that I've not heard before. I'm still learning at my own younger age. And my older ones are also learning from us. I'm still youngest in this place. So if they are learning, I'm also learning. And I don't see any reason why the younger ones cannot learn from us. This platform was created for one mission. The old, the young, coming together on the same table to learn, to express, to listen, and also to appreciate one another, to respect one another, to also accommodate one another. That is what YYCI is all about. Because we want to do something. Yes, we are saying it. Yes, you can achieve it. Yes, you can succeed. Yes, you can become. It all starts from transformation. You have to transform your life before you can become. And it's not microwave. It's stage by stage. It's not quick fix. You are learning every day. And that is why we are here. And I'm so glad that we are not wasting our time here because I've received a lot of reports, even from visitors, even from our guests of honors. They came here once or twice, but they've learned a lot from us. So we cannot stop sharing because the more we share, the more we get better understanding. So, and when you get better understanding, then you can take action. And when you take action, the rest is history. So I want to appreciate you all. Thank you for coming. Dr. Adeogun, our first timer, he joined us first. He's also finishing it us with us. That is the heart of service. That is the heart of leadership, because leaders are to learn from others. Leaders are to serve others, and we are all doing it together. So on this occasion, I want to say thank you so much for every one of us. Permit me to end up this program today. Tomorrow is also another day, and I hope you'll be joining us. Let's listen to others, even if you have spoken today. I know Professor TPS always joins, whether he's speaking or not. That is the example we need to follow. I know Professor Charles also will do the same thing. That is the attitude we need as a leader, as a professional leader, to learn and learn. Even if you have to speak, still learn. Even if you have to give, still give, still receive from others and fill your cup every day. So I want to say thank you, sir. Thank you, ma, for staying patiently for these 2.5 hours. We don't want to go far. So permit me to end this program today. See you tomorrow, the same time, 10 a.m. UK time. All my leaders from Nigeria, 10 a.m. UK time.
Yes.
Hope to see you there. Thank you so much, Bishop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, we have a new guest from Pakistan, Shahzeb.
Yes.
So
you're
we should also
welcome.
say welcome.
You can come tomorrow and you can share with us.
Yes, yes.
You can come
Thank
with
you.
us. So by rounding, even if it's just only 1 minute prayer, Papa Apabio, 1 minute prayer, please, to close this event.
Father, we so thank you today for this wonderful teaching and conference we have had. I declare that your blessing shall be our portion on this first day of December, Lord, in every of the nation represented in this program. I pray that your blessing shall flow. May the Lord of heaven bless all of us. Thank you for hearing, Lord. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. And thank you so much for meeting up the time. I think we did very well. The time now is exactly, we scheduled to finish at 12:43 and 12:45, and now we are finishing now, which is 12:43. So thank you so much. Thank you. You're doing it. I mean, our plans is to finish up finish up early so that we can do other things that we want to do for the day. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Right. Please release yourself so that I can end it. I don't like ending it while you are still looking at my face. Please release yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yes, you can.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, you can. God bless you.
Yes, you can.
Have a
God
wonderful
bless you.
day.
God bless everyone.
I'm still waiting for you to leave, please, so that I can end the conference.
Thank you, Pastor Sam.
Thank you. Thank
you.
Pastor
Thank you,
Samuel.
Bushra.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Evangelist Grace.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Bishop.
Thank
Pastor.
you, Ambassador
Pervez.
Buzra. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ambassador
Thank you, Shazib.
Raza Pazap. Thank you, Zazab.
Chavez.
Thank you so much for coming. Mommy Robinson, Pavas, Robina, Pavas, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you. We really appreciate you. Please leave so that I can end
Yeah.
it. Please.
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Yes,
you can.
Oh, can I click it? Am I permitted?
Yes, you can.
Okay, all right. I'll do that.
Bishop.
Thank you, sir, Professor.
Okay, God bless you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, everyone.